Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name, which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faceless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired sex of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to our next part of the session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mata Ji, then let's pronoun Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Arvind from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Arvindaksha Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining and giving your recitation. Welcome to the call. I think Maharaj already joined. Sudhakar Prabhu, will you read the introduction? Are you ready?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah.
Yeah, I will start the recording, Prabhuji. One second. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna devotees and Maharaj. His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj Ji is a disciple of ISKCON founder Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ji. He is also initiating spiritual master in ISKCON movement. Maharaj Ji was born in New Jersey in 1947. He came in contact with ISKCON in Denver, Colorado at the age of 24. In 1973, Maharaji has begun practicing Krishna consciousness in New York City, and shortly after that, he has been serving in New Vrindavan farm community in the West Virginia. In the same year, Maharaji received his initiation from his Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. At the time of the New Vrindavan, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj is also serving there. Both of them are good friends, and their intimacy in both of them is inspiration to many of the devotees. Maharaji in 1986 accepted his sannyasa order and began preaching in Columbus, Ohio. In early 1990s, Maharaji has become involved in ISKCON prison ministry in America. He began meeting the inmates of prison in a very compassionate manner, meeting them and writing letters to the inmates and giving the teachings of the divine knowledge of the Prabhupada books to the inmates. He has transformed many lives of the inmates in the prison. Maharaj also touched the life of the people who are in difficult situation in prison and transformed their lives to become the beautiful Vaishnavas. Maharaji has written 2 books on that subject. Maharaji is now the leader of the ISKCON prison ministry and has worked on the document for the spiritual progression of the worldwide inmate community. His dedication to welfare, growth, and sustainable rehabilitation of these prisoners has culminated in a book called Holy Jail. Over 30 years of operation and service, hundreds of inmates of life has been changed due to the practice of Krishna consciousness with the support of the devotees. In 1995, Maharaj has begun serving as a resident sannyas in Chicago, where he is based currently. At present, Maharaj preaches and gives spiritual guidance to many devotees in America, India, Western Europe, Croatia, Italy, and the UK. Hare Krishna Mataji, back to you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna everyone. Once again, welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 8th canto, 8th chapter, 12 to 14 verses. Do not see Maharaj on camera. If anybody would like to introduce themselves, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago, Illinois.
Hare Krishna, Yeshumati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day in all calls and chanting so nicely. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjari Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Manjari Leela Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Shama Guru Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining, and all glories to your wonderful services to Bhakti Sangha Guru Mataji. We are very grateful to you. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj will come after like few minutes, Mataji.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. We will take into, we did not do anything. I thought like Maharaj joined early, so I finished the
Maharaj is
introduction.
not there, that's why. I think
Sure.
Maharaj has turned on the video.
Maharaj is there
Now
now,
he
Mataji.
turned on his video, Mataji.
Maharaj is there.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for joining us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you, Maharaj. It's 8th canto, 8th chapter, 12 to 14 verses. Mataji will be sharing the screen. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Rishaya Kalpayan Chakrur Abhishekam Yata Vidi Jagar Bhadrani Gandharva Natyaschad Nadritur Jugahum. The great sages performed the bathing ceremony of the goddess of fortune. As directed in the authorized scriptures, the Gandharvas chanted all auspicious Vedic mantras, and the professional women dancers were nicely danced and sang authorized songs prescribed in the Vedas. Mega Mirdanga Panava Morvajanaka Gomukan Vyarnadayan Sankar Venu Venus Tumalan Niswanan. The clouds, in personified form, beat various types of drums known as mridangas, panavas, murrajas, and anakas. They also blew conch shells and bugles known as gomukas and played flutes and stringed instruments. The combined sound of these instruments was tumultuous. Tato Bishishishur Vivedim Shriyam Padmakaram Satim Digdibhya Purnakalmasa Sukha Dvijir Ritai. Thereafter, the great elephants from all directions carried big water jugs full of Ganga water and bathed the goddess of fortune. To the company of Vedic mantras chanted by the learned Brahmins, thus while being bathed, the goddess of fortune maintained her original style with lotus flower in hand, and she appeared very beautiful. The goddess of fortune is most chaste, for she does not know anyone but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is described in this verse as Shriyam, which means she has 6 opulence: wealth, strength, influence, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. These opulence are received from the goddess of fortune. Lakshmi is addressed here as Devi, the goddess, because in Vaikuntha she applies all opulences to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees, who in this way enjoy natural life in the Vaikuntha planets. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with his consort, the goddess of fortune, who carries a lotus flower in her hand. Mother Lakshmi is described in this verse as Sati, the supremely chaste, because she never diverts her attention from the Supreme Personality of Godhead to anyone else. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksun Malitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Swam Padatikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksun Malitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shri Makti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvase Sasunyavadi Pastyatya De Sutarine Panchakalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Titanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari. So the goddess of fortune has now appeared, and she's being welcomed by many great personalities with drums, dancing, musical instruments, and great pomp. And now it's mentioned that she has been given her transcendental bath here. And she is very beautiful. She is fully connected with Lord Narayan. She never leaves his lotus feet. She is the goddess of fortune. People seek blessings from the goddess of fortune, especially materialists who want some kind of fortune. If you go to one place in India, which is called Kolhapur, in that place in Kolhapur, there is the Mahalakshmi temple. It's a compound, but in the middle of the compound, there is the grand temple of Mahalakshmi. Around that, there are other smaller temples like Sitaram temples. There are also the goddess of fortune's sister. Her temple is there. Many nice temples. I've been there many times. But people go and they worship the goddess of fortune, and they are asking for some material fortune. Usually they look for wealth. So they offer their puja, they offer their prayers, and they also offer various gifts to the goddess of fortune, wanting some material benefit. Of course, she's inclined to do that also, if she is pleased by the worshiper. But her main service is to please the Supreme Personality of God, and she never leaves his lotus feet. She is in the mood of Dasya Ras. Some people mistakenly think she is in Madhurya Ras as his wife. She's in Dasya Ras as the maidservant of the Lord, and she serves in the mood of finding different ways to make the Lord comfortable and also to assist him in his services. There is one story where it is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, she wanted to enter into the rasa dance with Krishna. But she wasn't able to enter into the rasa dance with Krishna. And of course, there was a discussion at that time between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Venkata. Venkata was a devotee of Lord Narayan and Lakshmi. So Lord Chaitanya is saying, well, why is the goddess of fortune, why does she want to associate with Krishna? And Venkata says, well, Narayan and Krishna are non-different, so it's their same husband in a different form. And then Lord Chaitanya said, yes, that is true, but how come she could not get into the rasa dance, although she had performed austerities to get there? And it was finally understood that because she is in the mood of Aishwarya Bhav, she serves in the mood of awe and reverence, she could not change her mood of service. And therefore, she was not able to adopt the mood of the gopis, who don't serve Krishna as wives, but they serve Krishna as consorts and loving exchange, as sometimes as parikriya ras, which is lawless love, boyfriend and girlfriend without marriage, and then you have swakiya ras, which is marriage. She's in dasya ras with Lord Narayan, and she wanted to go into Madhurya Ras with Lord Krishna, but she wasn't able to give up her mood of the goddess of fortune, and therefore she could not take part in the rasa dance. And this is interesting because, of course, that's the same person. Narayan and Krishna are non-different. Narayan's an expansion of Krishna, but the mood to worship Narayan and the mood of worshiping Krishna is different. We in Krishna consciousness, we are worshiping the Supreme Lord Krishna as taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That means ultimately to enter into the mood of Vrindavan Dham, which is spontaneous loving devotional service, free from any mood of Aishwarya or awe and reverence. Of course, we do worship in awe and reverence as we begin our worship in Krishna consciousness. But as we make progress in the different stages of bhakti, we are meant to come to the stage of loving Krishna in different moods as Sakya Ras, Madhurya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, but mostly Sakya and Madhurya Ras. And so that is called spontaneous or Raganuga Bhakti. And to worship Krishna in that mood, as taught by Lord Chaitanya, is the highest form of worshiping Krishna. Because Krishna is not worshipped as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's worshipped as the most beautiful and qualified boy of Sri Vrindavan. They're attracted to his beauty, they're attracted to his qualities, they're attracted to his activities. But they don't know him as God. They know him as just a beautiful boy of Sri Vrindavan Dham. And Mahaprabhu is in that mood because he is Krishna, but he's in the mood of Radharani, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nohyanya. And therefore, he's teaching the mood of spontaneous devotional service. So for us, when we worship in the temple, we see on the altar deities of Radha and Krishna. But we're not worshiping Radha and Krishna in the mood of Radha and Krishna because we're not qualified to come to that mood unless we reach the stage of spontaneous love for Krishna, which is the higher stages of bhakti. Adav Shraddha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Anartha Nivritti Nishta Ruchi. When you get to the stage of Ruchi, then the next stage is Ashakti. When those stages develop in Bhava, and each one of the stages have certain characteristics, And these characteristics of ruchi and bhava means there is an unlimited happiness that dwells within the heart of the practitioner, and there is an affection that develops for Krishna in one of the different rasas. So, but to come to that stage means to go through the preliminary stages of worshiping in the mood of awe and reverence. So, although in the temple we see deities of Radha and Krishna on the altar, we are not worshiping them in the mood of Vrindavan. We're worshiping them in the mood of Vaikuntha, which is the mood of awe and reverence, which is the mood of Aishwarya Bhav, opulence. So therefore we dress the deities very nicely, like that. But when Krishna is in Vrindavan, he's a cowherd boy. He wears a turban. He has his dress, beautiful blue dress with a white kurta, carries a bugle horn on the left side of his body. On the right side, he carries his flute tucked into his belt, and he's herding cows. He's a cowherd boy. When you see him on the altar, he looks differently. He's dressed in such opulence, and he's more in the mood of Aishwarya Bhav. But that's still Krishna. So, but when we qualify ourselves, we come to the stage of seeing the deity as the beautiful boy of Sri Vrindavan Dham. And that is the goal ultimately of Bhakti Yoga. Lord Chaitanya did not teach Aishwarya Bhav, he taught Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous loving devotion. But how to reach that stage is the process of bhakti as given by the spiritual master and developing in the different levels of consciousness. But it all centers around developing the quality of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In other words, through the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and through executing of bhakti activities as given by the spiritual master, following that very carefully, and practicing chanting of our Hare Krishna Mahamantra more and more each day, not just 16 rounds, but chanting as much as possible, we can come to the higher stages of Krishna consciousness. And that is the actual goal. Because the goal of Krishna consciousness is Prema Pumartha Mahan, which means to develop loving mood. Of course, there are devotees in the ISKCON movement who are situated in the Vaikuntha mood. But that will be developed or revealed, that's the word, revealed in later stages. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us the process of entering into the mood of Vrindavan through reading and studying Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting the holy names of the Lord, serving the Vaishnavas, whatever the opportunity arises, and also finding opportunities to serve the Vaishnavas. That means becoming proactive in devotional service by looking for and creating opportunities for Vaishnav Seva. And also, the last one is to reach out to the conditioned souls to bring them into Krishna consciousness and make them devotees also. In other words, the mood of preaching or outreach. That's Mahaprabhu's mood, and that is the mood that he teaches in order to develop that mood of Sri Vrindavan Dham, especially the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so we worship Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. But Lakshmi Devi, she is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. As is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the 4th chapter of Adi Leela, you'll see that Radharani expands into all of the different gopis in Vrindavan. She expands into all of the different Lakshmis in Vaikuntha, and she expands into all of the different queens when Krishna is in Dwarkadam. So all of the female expansions of the absolute truth are coming from Srimati Radharani, who is the original Shakti. She is Ladini Shakti, the internal energy of Krishna, and she is the original form of the Shaktis, or the foremost of all female counterparts of the Absolute Truth. And from her, all of these other ladies who serve the Lord in different moods are expansions of Srimati Radharani. So we worship Radha and Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, and hearing about the pastimes of Krishna in Sri Vrindavan with his devotees, with his gopis, with his friends, with his parents, and getting it and becoming absorbed, not absorbed, but becoming attracted to Krishna's mood in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And as that we develop according to that process, we start to awaken our natural attraction for Krishna in Vrindavan. And that ultimately is what Lord Chaitanya is teaching. Of course, we have our what is called our Istadev, not Istadev, but we have our what is our called eternal position in the spiritual world. So some of us may be eternally situated in the Vaikuntha realm, and some of us may be eternally situated in the Vrindavan realm. Because Lord Chaitanya is teaching Vrindavan, we can all adopt that. But we see even in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, there was one particular personality. His name was Murari Gupta. He was older than Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya, he used to be a follower of Lord Chaitanya. He was a physician. And Lord Chaitanya said to him one day, "Hey, Murari, Murari, Ram's pastimes, Ramachandra's pastimes are very nice, but Krishna's pastimes are even sweeter. So you should worship Krishna." Now, when Murari Gupta heard that, he became a little bit shocked and at the same time a little unhappy, because he is an incarnation of Hanuman who appeared in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. And so when he heard that, he was thinking what to do. So that night, he went home and he was praying to give up his relationship with Ram and develop a relationship with Krishna, but he couldn't do it. His heart was so attached to Ram. Of course, he's Hanuman, therefore it's not possible. And then the next day he was so distraught, he came back, he didn't sleep the whole night. And he fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya and he said, "I can't follow your instructions. I'm sorry. I can't give up my Raghupati." And the Lord said, "Of course not. I was just testing you just to see how strong your love is for Lord Ram." And then the Lord took some Gopi Chanda and he wrote on the forehead of Murari Gupta, he wrote the word Ramdas, servant of Lord Ram. So even in the society of Lord Chaitanya, he had a few associates who were not, because most of his associates were gopis in the spiritual world. The 6 Goswamis were all gopis who had manifested in male forms to assist Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes when he appeared in this world. And most of his associates were coming from the realm of Vrindavan, but there were a few who came from Vaikuntha also. So we might understand this in the broader picture also, that as we make progress in devotional service, we start to understand what is our relationship with Krishna, either in the Vrindavan mood or in the Vaikuntha mood. Of course, we cultivate the Vaikuntha mood, but when we reach a certain stage, if we are not in the Vaikuntha mood, that will be revealed to us. I mean, if we are not in a Vrindavan mood, that will reveal to us by the spiritual master, who comes to the devotee in different ways to reveal his Siddha Pranali, his eternal relationship with Krishna in the spiritual world. Whether it's Lord Narayan, Lord Ramchandra, or one of the Vishnu manifestations, even Lord Nrsingadev, just like we have the main commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam is Sridhar Swami, and his Istadev, or his worshipable deity, is Lord Nrsingadev. So we have great souls who worship Rome. But Lord Chaitanya is teaching, and he's also preaching the mood of Vrindavan. So we follow that, and if we can hear and chant the glories of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, and chant the holy names of the Lord, read Srimad Bhagavatam and study Bhagavatam, understand Bhagavatam, apply Bhagavatam in our day-to-day life, and preach Krishna consciousness to the conditioned souls, then the door to Vrindavan Dham becomes available simply by pleasing Lord Chaitanya, by following these principles that he gave us. Okay, so this is a little bit interesting about here. Lakshmi Devi we're hearing about. It's interesting, Bhagavatam speaks about the different realms. It speaks about Krishna in Dwarka, speaks about Krishna in Vrindavan, talks about Krishna in Vaikuntha, talks about Krishna and all of the different manifestations. But Bhagavatam culminates in the 10th canto in Krishna in Vrindavan, which is the essence of that 10th canto is the 29th and to the 34th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto of Krishna with the gopis in Vrindavan, glorified in Krishna's pastimes, which is the epitome of these pastimes is Krishna in his dance in the rasa dance. And that is the highest of all pastimes. Okay, there's a little bit about Krishna and our mood of devotional service as we follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, go to gallery. Vanita, go to gallery.
Yes.
In gallery view, can you see everybody?
We need to get to gallery here.
Yes, Maharaj, it is in gallery view from our end.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm in. Okay. We have almost 70 devotees online today. So ask questions about relationships, about Krishna and Vrindavan, about Vaikuntha, about the spiritual world, anything. Of course, ask questions about anything, but try to keep it connected with the subject matter.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Maharaj. All glories to you. All glories to all the devotees. Assembled devotees here. Maharaj, I joined a little bit late, but I heard you mentioning that some of us might have our eternal existence either in Vaikuntha or in Vrindavan Dham, etc. So is that even a slight possibility that we are existing at both places at the same time, our eternal existence being there and we have manifested ourselves here? How do we understand that?
No, we're not. We're not Nitya siddhas. No, we're here. That's where you are right now. When you qualify yourself and purify yourself according to the process of bhakti, you will return to the spiritual world.
Exactly. I thought so. I'm
You
sorry.
maybe Nina, you're a Nitya siddha. You came into the.
Maharaj, please don't do that.
If you are, then you're in two places.
I wish. No, Maharaj. I joined late, so I heard that. I'm like, okay, what am I hearing? So I just wanted to clarify. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for your wonderful time and association.
Sri Devi Desi Mataji, yes, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you. Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, as you were speaking about the progression of bhakti, in the beginning, mood of awe and veneration, following all the rules and regulations properly, and slowly progressing to spontaneous loving devotion. But on the way, there are many times when we can get stuck because of anarthas. So when this happens, how should we tackle our chanting? Because that's where is the key. That's where the uprooting has to happen for us to make progress. So how do we now approach our chanting in such a way we are able to overcome that?
Yeah, there's different stages. There's different stages of chanting. Most of us are chanting in Namaparat. That means we're not following the 10 fences, including the 11th fence to the holy name. Once you purify yourself from Namaparad, you come to Namabas, which is a glimmer of the pure holy name. As Namabas stage develops, it comes to Sudanam. And Sudanam, that's pure chanting. And so if you reach the process of Sudanam, you're also going through the different stages, as we mentioned. So Sudanam, yes. So to get to Sudanam is actually the goal. Chant purely. And pure chanting is available if we apply ourselves to following carefully the principles that enhance our chanting. And therefore, Rupa Goswami has given us these 6 things to avoid and 6 things to accept in Nectar of Instructions. If you avoid the 6 things, and then if you accept the other 6, you can go through the process of bhakti very nicely. Benita, you can turn to Nectar Instructions, verse number 2.
Yes, Maharaj, Indu Mataji is doing that. Indu Mataji? Okay, I
Yes,
can.
Mataji, I'm doing Mataji.
You're doing, okay.
It took me a little to unmute, that's all.
Nectar of Instructions, verse number 2, 6 things to avoid.
Yes,
And verse number 3, 6 things to accept. These things must be followed. You must avoid these 6, and you must follow the other 6. Yeah. One's devotional service is spoiled when he's too much entangled in the 6 activities, eating more than necessary, collecting more funds required, over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to attain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically, associating with worldly-minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, being greedy for mundane achievements. So we must carefully understand these 6, and there is a book written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Bhaktiyaloka, where he takes these 6 and explains each one in detail. It's a very interesting book. And then the 6 things that are favorable for devotional service, go back to Nectar of Instructions. Again. Looks like, okay. Nectar of Instructions once again. The next verse. The 6 things that are favorable, so we must follow these. Being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to the regular principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smarnam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotees, again, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. So if you follow these 6 and avoid the other 6, you'll make progress ultimately to the stage of Raganuga Bhakti.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you.
That's a good seminar to do these discuss these things. It's interesting. I have that seminar already done. I've done that seminar already. It's interesting.
Yes, devotees, any other questions to Maharaj?
Any other questions or comments? This is such a wide topic. You should be able to think of some questions related to the spiritual world, your relationship with the process of devotional service. We covered a whole gamut of topics within this presentation. No questions. That's interesting. Not interesting. It's kind of.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, this is Rashmi. I had a question. I mean, I'm trying to understand this, and I didn't hear the whole lecture, so if you've covered it, I'm sorry, I joined in middle. So Guru Maharaj, I wanted to ask that when we are practicing devotional service, we get attracted to different aspects. Like some people like to read, some people like to do kirtan, some people like to do deity worship. So is this any way connected with our how we were in the spiritual world, or is this somehow connected to our own past karmas, whatever we are carrying? Like, why is that we get attracted to some particular limb of devotional service?
No, there's nothing to do with karma. It's just natural attraction. We should get attracted to kirtan because this is Lord Chaitanya's teaching that in this age, kirtan is the yuga dharma. It's the means for self-realization in this age. What is that verse? Krishna Varna Svata Krishna Sangopanga Saparshadam Yagyai Sankirtanai Prayai Yajanti Hi Sumeda Saha. Yeah, so in this age, actually, those who actually do kirtan will understand Krishna. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, those who do not do kirtan will never be able to progress beyond a certain point.
Thank you, Maharaj. That's such a profound statement.
Yeah, this is the outstanding principle of our society is kirtan is the essence. Do kirtan as much as possible. Do it with your family. Go to the temple and do it with the temple. Go to the kirtan programs that are all over the world. There's kirtan programs in every country practically now, all over the world. Kirtan is spreading like a wildfire. Jump in and jump up and down when you get there. Kirtan.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Everyone likes to dance, right? And everyone likes to sing. So this is a chance to take that propensity and spiritualize it and use it to purify your consciousness and go back to the spiritual realm. So we're singing and dancing our way back to Godhead. It's not like we're just sitting there reading books, and we do that too. Now, some of us might say, well, I'm too old to dance. I can't move. I got lumbago. I got this problem. So you just stand up and you just smile, hold your arms in the air, and then whenever you can, just move a little bit this way and that way. And then you're in kirtan. Shamagori
Maharaj,
see
we
that?
cannot forget your dance at Sadhu Sangha. It's always super, Maharaj, to see that how you
Yeah,
dance.
I was going to say Samba Shamagori. She's a fantastic dancer. If you ever see Shamagori dance, she's the leader of your group here. So you should follow your leader. She dances. I mean, like, I wish I could keep up with her. She's so ecstatic. When she gets dancing, wow, watch out. All the ladies started trying to keep up with her, but she shows them how to dance. So yeah, dancing is fun and it's spiritual too. Lord Chaitanya made the process easy. He said, eat, sing, and dance. He made it so easy. And read Bhagavatam too when you have time, as much as you can. So if you do these four things, sing, dance, eat, and read Bhagavatam, hey, you're back in the spiritual world. There's nothing else you need to do. Of course, if your spiritual master asks you to do some service, because you're happy chanting and dancing, you're immediately inclined to do whatever you're asked to do. We got Kishori Vallabha here. Let's see what happens.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. I just had a question about how can we understand, I understand that, the spiritual master guides us in understanding what our relationship is with Krishna in the spiritual world. But, throughout our spiritual journey, we have these inclinations, or we have these kind of natural attractions to different personalities or services. How can we approach the spiritual master to help us, to guide us in understanding our relationship with Krishna?
That comes automatically as you advance. That's something you don't have to ask for. But when you get to a certain stage of bhakti, the spiritual master will now teach you what is called Raganuga sadhana. Raganuga sadhana. And then it's quite easy. You can actually read about it. Shiva Ram Maharaj has written one book called Spontaneous Devotional Service, which is Raganuga Bhakti. And then he's written a second book, Further Explanations of Spontaneous Devotional Service. 2 little books. If you're in the UK, the books are easily available. Of course, those books are available for everyone, but they're in the UK. They're readily available. So yeah, find out about Raganuga Bhakti even while you're still practicing Vaidhi Bhakti.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Because Lord Chaitanya makes it clear he's not attracted to those who worship him in awe and reverence. Yeah, we have to come to that stage of spontaneous devotion because that's the nature of the soul. The soul has natural love for Krishna, and it's spontaneous. Natural means spontaneous. In other words, you don't have to learn it. You have to uncover it. When you uncover it, it becomes a force that drives you more and more to Krishna. You want to hear about Krishna. You want to talk to Krishna. You want to write him letters. You want to associate with his devotees who are advanced in Krishna consciousness. And your attraction to Krishna, once awakens, just proliferates itself more and more. And when that attraction turns into love, then you have reached perfection. That's
Thank you,
bhakti.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hopefully, with your mercy, one day.
We'll get you there. Don't worry.
Thank you.
If you help me, I'll help you also.
Guru Maharaj, I cannot help you, but thank you for giving me shelter.
I gave you two things that you can work with. I gave you Lord Jagannath and two features. I mean, Lord Jagannath is in the mood of spontaneous, loving, devotional service. You worship Jagannath in separation, which is spontaneous devotional service. So read about the pastimes of Jagannath. Go to Jagannath Puri during the Rath Yatra. Take part in Rath Yatras. Lord Jagannath is Krishna, but he's in the mood of separation from Krishna, which is the mood of spontaneous love. He's in the mood of separation from the residents of Vrindavan. Yeah. Which is the mood of bhakti, which is the mood of because Vrindavan is only spontaneous devotional service. There's no Vaidhi bhakti there, rules and regulations.
Okay. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Love needs no rules and no regulations. Love itself is the mood. Once you have love, all the rules and regulations fall to the side, and love becomes the only process. So we can reach that stage of loving Krishna because Krishna is the most lovable object, and everything about Krishna is supremely attractive. He can attract everyone if you give him a chance. To get attracted to your deities.
I'm trying, Guru Maharaj. I'm trying to serve them so that I can develop that attachment.
Yeah, through service and through glorification, you develop the attraction. Do we have any more questions?
Yes, Maharaj, there is one devotee wants to ask you some question. John, dear to Mataji, yes, please go ahead, you can ask.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. All glories to you, Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to assembled devotees. I'm kind of Zoom's challenge, so I'm trying to put my video. Okay, here one moment. There you go. Hello, everyone. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, my question is, I think couple of things. One is, you mentioned, and then you kind of switched earlier. You said Ishtadev. When we're born as human beings, and then you look at your Vedic astrology, not that I subscribe to that, because once you're practicing bhakti or any kind of yoga art, that kind of nullifies that. But what is the influence of your Ishtadev? Because when I'm learning about myself and in my journey to spirituality, there was this awakening that happened, of really attraction to Lord Shiva. And I'm coming from a Catholic background, and I don't know, who is this guy? What is this? And I went into that journey, found out about him, and I found out that there's just this attraction. And then here I am now in Bhakti, and I've been told that if you didn't ask Lord Shiva for wealth, fame, money, and all that thing, then he's gonna give you the best. Because there was a moment in my life where I was bhakti this or this and that, and I was just observing bunch of devotees, and I was on the fence. And then I read the glorification of Lord Shiva to Radharani, and then I also played for Radharani, even though I didn't know her before. And then perhaps this intellectual attraction developed to Radharani. And then when I was observing devotees that were more attracted to Lord Krishna and more attracted to Radharani, I found myself having an instinct of somewhat a spontaneous delight when people are greeting me, Radhe Radhe. I notice, because I'm very observant and self-observant as well. I notice that when they're greeting me, Radhe Radhe, I feel like I have this spontaneous delight and happiness, like, like in my ears, or I'm feeling like elevated. And so I had to pay attention to that. So this is my question. I just wanted to give you a background. We have a Radharani at home, and I'm kind of tormented with this intellectual knowledge that I've read, that because we're not qualified, because we haven't reached that level, the Radharani at home that you have is really supposedly to be, is really Lord Vishnu and um, Goddess Lakshmi. And it's because Lord Vishnu and Goddess Lakshmi, therefore, you're supposed to be paying them obeisances or doing the god the deity worship based on that rules and regulation. So for me, as a neophyte, I get kind of frozen because I'm torn between doing the right thing and then scared of doing a parade. And so I kind of avoided it now because my partner and I, we have different mood of worshiping. I'm the kind of person that, perhaps Myers-Briggs, I'm an INTJ personality, and I used to be a trainer. I like to know the right thing first because I don't like doing the wrong thing or learning the wrong thing from the very beginning. But perhaps my partner is much more advanced in his worship, that he's already in a particular mood that I'm not. And so I find that sort of tormenting me or interfering, because also devotees say, oh, this.
I think I understand your question. Yeah.
So my question is, how do I overcome that intellectual
So
conflict of, and then with my mood of attraction to Radharani, but then intellectually knowing that having a Radha Krishna is too high for me to worship, and I'm afraid of doing the wrong thing of the deity worship.
so you have deities of Radha and Krishna at your house.
Yes. And most devotee tells me this is the reason why you shouldn't have a Radha Krishna. You should start with Lord Nityananda or Lord Chaitanya.
There's-
But what to do? That's what we have. That's what we have gotten. That's what came to us.
yeah, okay, but how big are the deities? How many inches high, maybe?
I don't know quite yet. Maybe this
They're brass. They're made out of brass.
they're like in a I think it's ceramic, like it's harder. It's not ceramic, or like a stone marble.
There are ceramic deities also. So I would suggest, have you connected with any person who is you're taking spiritual guidance from?
I'm sorry, Maharaj, what is that again?
Yeah, are you following any spiritual master?
I was, and I'm kind of, yeah, distant.
Well, before you can approach the absolute truth, either Lord Chaitanya, we have to approach Krishna in the form of the spiritual master, who is the manifestation of the Lord in the material world to give spiritual guidance and also teach the process of worship. So I think that's the first step. You should start looking who are in that position and get inspired accordingly. In other words, what person inspires you most in devotional service? Perhaps you can take instructions and guidance from them. And they can give you guidance on how to worship the Lord in his deity form. Because just to jump around, it's more like there's some infatuation, there's some attraction there, but bhakti will not manifest in a regulated way unless we go through the process of taking shelter of Krishna through his spiritual master. So I think if you take some time, keep your deities now, and keep everything clean. But I wouldn't engage in any kind of formal worship. Just keep them there, that's all. And make sure everything is clean and everything is neat, like that. And keep a picture of Srila Prabhupada near also. And when you have to take your food, then you can place the food in front of Prabhupada. And then you can offer the prayers, and that food becomes prasadam, like that. But I think your next step in bhakti is to find that spiritual master, because the process is sadhu. What is it? Adaustrada, sadhu sangha, and bhajana kriya is the third step in bhakti. Bhajana kriya means to take shelter of a spiritual master, which will guide you in the process of worship and all the teachings that you're exposed to when you read the books and when you hear the lectures also. So yeah, I think that would be where you should focus your attention on now. Keep your deities there, keep Radha and Krishna there, keep everything clean, but don't do any formal worship.
Maharaj, clarification. When you say formal form of worship, what exactly do you mean? Formal
Don't
form?
don't offer any RT like that. Or don't offer them any food like that.
Don't
Just
offer
keep,
food?
yeah, just keep them there. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
was
keep
offering them food before in front of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, they get breakfast and lunch. Okay. So don't do that?
um well as I say, you can't jump up to Radha Krishna worship.
Okay.
We start the advice you're getting Gorn type deities is actually preliminary to Radha Krishna, because it says in the Shastras that you can't worship Radha Krishna. I would suggest read one verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
You're coming off very wobbly, so I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah. Do you have access to the Chaitanya Charitamrita? That scripture.
Okay. I'm gonna look.
I'm asking you a question. Do you have that access to that scripture?
I don't have it as a physical book like Srimad Bhagavatam, but I can access that online, Maharaj.
Yeah, so go to what is called Adi Leela, chapter 8, verse number 31.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, best wishes.
Thank you so much for your guidance. I appreciate you. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
I really appreciate your devotion and your enthusiasm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we got Balavan Nitai.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Sri Nityananda. Hey, yeah, I read that. I dutifully read the section of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, as you instructed. Boy, is that heavy. Incredible. The pronouncement and the relationship between, men and women, just as clear as day, and as heavy as could possibly be imagined. So I'm going to reread it over it and really try to, that Maya comes in the form of the shape of the woman and all that sort of, it's just astonishing. Um,
Okay, all right, you made your point. Okay.
and then, but I just wanted to, I haven't fully absorbed that, so I'll come back around. I'll circle back around to that at another time. But I did want to sort of ask about those levels of bhakti that we're discussing. Ruchi, Raganuta, Prema. And of course, the goal, obviously, that blissful love of God that I'm shooting for. How does one suss out which stage of bhakti that they themselves are at?
Each stage have symptoms. You can tell by the symptoms. So I can tell you where you're at. You just got initiated. So you reach the third stage, that is called Bhajana Kriya. Now the next stage is Anartha Nivritti. Anartha Nivritti means getting rid of all of those blocks, unwanted desires. And there's 16 anarthas in 4 different categories. So now you have to work through those anartha nivrittis. How do you do that? You engage in devotional service and you chant the holy names of the Lord. Become aware of what's blocking you in devotional service and learn how to overcome it through the power of bhakti. So you're on the you're approaching the 4th stage of bhakti.
Amazing. Well, I'll research that and search my heart. And that shouldn't be so difficult. My problems are right near the surface usually. So, but
Okay.
what was I going to say?
Two things. Do as much service and try to develop your chanting more and more. And then you'll start to these anarthas will start to fall away automatically. Mm-hmm.
And many of them have, for sure, no question. And also, per your instruction, I have increased my chanting. I've only done the 64, that one ekdasi so far, but I am chanting 30 rounds or so a day now. So I've increased.
Very good. Nice. Continue.
It's an ocean of bliss. Yes, I will. And I'll keep pushing to, I want to eventually, it'd be amazing to achieve. I'm going to try to get to eventually 64 rounds a day. That at least is a goal I've set for myself and my own. I don't know if I'll get there, but
balance it out with quality service also. Mm-hmm.
Yes. We'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Sridevi had another question.
Yes, Maharaj. I was asking about spontaneous devotional service. Is this something that will manifest itself naturally, or we should be actively trying, even as we practice Vaidhi Bhakti, we should be striving to get to spontaneous devotional service? Or we should just be patient and wait for that time to come?
It happens automatically. It happens when you, just like if you want to go someplace, you can go someplace, but if you're actively trying to get there, you'll get there faster. So yeah, you can, therefore I recommend you read those books I mentioned to help you understand how you're practicing and how to develop that practice.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I immediately looked up the PDF of Bhakti Aloka, which you have recommended. I will be reading them.
I'm talking about Shiva Ram Maharaj's spontaneous book of further devotional service.
Oh, okay. That too.
That especially that.
Okay.
He's written it for the whole ISKCON society because ISKCON somehow or other doesn't put much emphasis on it. But the emphasis are there in the Shastras. That unless we come to spontaneous devotional service, we haven't completed the process.
Yes. And what about Bhaktya Loka? That is also very important, right?
Yeah, there's the explanations of those 12 principles that are mentioned in Nectar of Instructions. I'm inclined to give a seminar on that because it's so important.
Yes, wonderful, Guru Maharaj. Look forward to it. You had given
Yeah,
it before, but it's always nice to hear it again and again.
okay, where are we?
Maharaj, there are some questions in the chat box. Do you like to take up?
I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay. Venkatesh Prabhuji is asking the question, how to avoid constant complaining that goes on the mind about various things, unfavorable situations, other devotees' nature, etc.
How do we, who asked the question?
Venkatesh Prabhuji.
Like how to avoid constant.
Yeah. Complaining that goes in the mind about various things, unfavorable situations, other devotees' nature, etc.
Just put in your mind the chanting of the holy name, the complaining will stop.
I hope Venkatesh
The
Prabhuji is
mind
here.
likes to complain. The mind's always dissatisfied. Mind is restless. Always complaining about something. So just shut the mind up by don't listen. When somebody complains to you, sometimes they become so much of an annoyance. You just walk away. It's like, so walk away from your complaining mind.
Venkatesh Prabhu has another follow-up question also, Maharaj. He's asking, is it that Srila Prabhupada, through his books, wants us only to go through the Goloka Vrindavan, establish relationship with Krishna? He's asking a question.
That's what he says in his books. He's teaching. The Bhagavatam teaches devotional service. Nasta prayeshu abhadresha nityam bhagavata sevaya. Read Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavatam every day. Make sure you attend this class every day and discuss Bhagavatam. Hear Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam. And when you have time, you can also, on your own, take some time and just read Bhagavatam.
There is another question from Suksagari Devides Mataji on the chat. I had heard in a class some years ago that Lord Chaitanya showed them.
Krishna
Sorry,
just do it. Don't think about it.
Could not hear you, Maharaji. Maybe my internet connection is slow or something.
No, it's everyone cannot
No,
hear.
Maharaj,
Not audible properly.
your voice is breaking up, Maharaj.
I think you broke up there, Sudha. Sudhakar voice?
Yes, Maharaj. I think we lost him.
Is there now?
Yeah, Maharaj is back here.
Yeah, Maharaj is there. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
We have to unmute Maharaj. I mean,
Maharaj, can you please? Okay, yeah, Maharaj is unmuted.
Yeah, I don't have much time left, so let's make this the last question.
Okay, Maharaj. Sukhsagar Devidasi Mataji has asked this question. I have heard in the class some years ago that Lord Chaitanya showed the Madhurya aspect of bhakti, so the Gaudiya devotees get awarded that rasa. He also added that other rasas may not be supported, something to the effect. Can you please enlighten Maharaji on this?
There's no clear question on what you just said. There's no question, or you just mentioned something.
Okay.
Let's take Himanshi question here.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my most humble obeisances. Guru Maharaj, tomorrow you are coming to ISKCON Ujjain, and I am super happy for that. Guru Maharaj, I just want to ask that it was my desire to cook some prasad for you. Can you please tell me what you like so I can cook for you?
Thank you very much, but I'm already took prasadam today, so. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow then.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, thank you. I do have a program coming up in about 20 minutes, so I do have to leave. So thank you. Thanks to all the devotees for coming on.
Thank you so much.
And my last words are read Bhagavatam as much as you can. Hear Bhagavatam as much as you can. Okay, Prabhupada.
Thank you very much. Jai.
Thank you so much.
Vanchakalpatarubhyasya
Kripa
कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च
Hare Krishna.
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः।
नमः।
कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हिज
राधा
होलीनेस
भक्तों
चंद्रमौली
की
स्वामी
जय।
महाराज की
जय
जय।
महाराज की